I'm Claire, an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. This is the craft along video for my home sampler kit. So hopefully you're going to pick up lots of tips and ideas, and we'll end up with a completed sampler at the end. So what did you get in your pack? You've got this frame. Now this may be in white or grey or black, it depends on what was available at the time. And inside you can see there's an envelope, so I'm just going to flip that over and we'll have a look inside. So if you take your picture frame to pieces, okay, there's the back. There will be a piece of card that fits exactly inside the frame. We're going to need that in a moment. So if you just lay that on top of your hardwood backing, and you should have an envelope that is literally filled to bursting with all sorts of goodies. Now I've found that the best thing to do is use your frame to keep everything together. Okay, you can spread things out and you can have a look what's there, and we'll work through the sampler step by step together. So there's all sorts of bits. There's some alphabet letters, there's some squares, there's some teeny tiny flowers and all sorts. So I'm just going to put that to one side. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let me bring that back over. So I'll put it there and hopefully you can see some of it here. So we're going to be working on this piece of the backing. We're just going to lay our white card directly on the top. Now this is 9 7/8 and that just fits exactly inside the frame. What we're going to do is lay everything out first of all, and then we'll go through and glue it. So you should have 7 green squares that 2.5 by 2.5. So on my original sampler there was 3 along the top, 3 going down the side, and then 3 down the bottom. So let's just try and get that so you can see it all. I think you can. And then there's one that's a rectangle shape that just goes in the middle there. Okay. So yeah, I think you can just about see it on the camera. So we're going to lay it out and then you can have fun moving it around and seeing where you want it. Now you will need some extra bits. Well, you won't need them, but you might want them. A blending brush, like so. A sponge dauber. A couple of sentiments that you like for 2 of the squares. So I've got 2 fairly old sentiments that I use on mine, and I'll show you in a minute. I've got some smoky slate, and then I've got some Lost Lagoon, which is the same colour as this green here, ink pads. And then you need some dimensionals. Some you should have some in your pack, but I use some big and some small. I probably just give you some big and then you cut them in half if you need small ones. But that's all the accessories you need really. Some glue. I haven't provided you with glue, but the rest is all there. So we've got our 7 squares and our rectangle, and then there's some more white that go on the top. So we're going to miss that one for now. We'll put one there. One is going to go there. One is going to go here. We're going to miss that one, put one on there, and we're going to miss that one. So let's have a look at this rectangle one here. You should have a rectangle that's got some brick embossing. Now you can put it either way round, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to put it that way so that it stands out and really looks like a good effect. You should then have a square that is embossed in this hive pattern that will go up there, like so. And then you should have a couple of colours of designer series paper. Now you need to make this your own, just swap that with 2 squares that you've got. You may have different patterns to this. It was whatever is available at the time, but these are 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. So I'm going to put this one on here and I'm going to put this one on here like so. So that's the second stage. Now the third stage is going through all these bits and laying them on top, okay? So for this square here, this one, okay, we need a little flower, which should already be glued in place for you, and then a big flower pot, like so. And then you should have two small flower pots, one for either side, or to put on one side, it's entirely up to you. And then there should be, oh, that one wants to come out as well, a little sprig going one way and a little sprig going directly up. Now you can trim those to fit, but we'll do that in a moment. There also was a little spade and a little shovel to go on there as well. So that's our first square, that's all you need on that one. The next one is the rainbow. So you should have 4 curves or 4 rainbow colours. So they just fit together like this. And this one goes over the top. And then there's a little heart that goes in the bottom. So if you have a look through all your teeny tiny pieces, there's a little heart as well. So that's going to go on there. This one is going to have a stamped sentiment on it saying, well, mine's going to be life is a beautiful thing. So you can either use the one that I've given you, or you can add your own sentiment, and that's the frame that's going to go around it. So that's our first 3 squares done. The next one is a house. So we're going to put a house on there, okay, just like so. And you can see that I've already put some different colour on the back, and then there's where the heart is, there's another little heart that can overlap that, which is here somewhere. Yeah, so that's just going to stick exactly over the top. Oh, jumped on my finger. Exactly over the top there, and we're going to do something to the background of the square just to make it not so white. Just going to lay that next to it because I think that's going to stick to me. This rectangle is for your home sentiment. So let's see if I can spell home. So, and an E. So that's it in green. You could just have it in green if you want to. I like to overlap mine with white and just make it a 3D. So I'm just going to put those over the top for the moment, and we will go through that together. So let's find that, and then the E, and that's that one done. This one down the bottom here is going to have a stamped element on it. This one, you should have one of these long pieces in your kit. Now obviously that's too long to go along there, but you just decide, because it starts from short to tall, whether you want big flowers, medium flowers or little flowers, and that will go on there. So that's going to go like that. There's a watering can as well, and then there's some little flowers that I will talk you through in a moment that go on the top. So it should all be coordinating, okay? Now the other thing is this one. So it's a heart. So you've got one heart that's green, like that, and then you can either have a vellum or some pattern paper. It's entirely up to you, okay? And that really is our frame good to go. So now we're going to concentrate on doing one square at a time. So again, I'm going to move this over to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So what should we do first? Should we start right in the corner? So let me get that one over first. So what I like to do is do all the squares and then mess about with the positioning of them. So this is my honeycomb. Let's see if my glue works now. Probably won't. Let's just start a new one, because otherwise it'll be stressful, won't it, when I'm trying to get it to work. So I've got brand new glue. Now have a look. Do you want it that way round with it indented, or that way round where it stands out? I quite like it that way round, so I'm just going to put some glue just over the back of my embossed piece, and then I'm just going to bring that over, and I'm going to try and get it in the centre so there's an even border all the way round. Now, because I've used Tombow glue, I've got a bit of wiggle room time. So that is my first one. Okay, I'll just give that little press all over. Now I've got 3 flower pots to put on there. That one, and that one. So I'm going to have a little play around with the positioning. Do I want that in the middle and 2 either side, which does look really nice, or do I want 2 on one side? Do I want to group them more, like so? I think I'm just going to put them. And the other thing I'm going to do, so I've got a Stampin' Right marker or a blend in a similar colour, and I'm just going to colour along one edge, so just like that. Okay, nothing fancy, just so it gives a bit of shape to my pot. I'm going to do the same with these. Okay, and the same with this one on the same side, just like that. And then I'm going to bring my dimensionals in, and I'm going to layer my pots. So the big one, I'm going to put big dimensional on. Just going to stick it right in the middle and put it about, I need to leave a bit of room for my fork and spade at the bottom, so about there. And then I'm going to do the next one. This time I'm going to use the small dimensionals because I've got them in front of me. I'm going to put it fairly down the bottom so that the stalk from the flower can poke in. Okay, and I'll do the same with the other side, ever so slightly overlapping them, but putting the sticky dimensional down the bottom, but making sure that it doesn't show on the other side. Okay, that's going to go there. Now this sunflower is going to go in the biggest, so I'm just going to put a dimensional behind the flower head, like so. And I'm not going to do anything with the stalk. I'm just going to tuck it in like that. Okay. And this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of a dab of glue just on the bottom 2 leaves. Oh, that's way too much glue, but it's going to be hidden, so that's okay. That one's going to go in there. Just about there, and if I don't stick it down, it gives it a bit of a floaty feel. Now this one I've deliberately put this way because it bends out, and again I'm just going to put some glue just down the bottom, so on the stalk and the bottom 2 leaves. I'm going to make sure that that tucks in behind, sort of centrally, and just press down the bottom 2 leaves. So there's that one, and then I just need my little fork and my trowel to go on as well. I think I have that one going that way. So I've just put some glue on the handle, and this one I think I'm going to put underneath. I'm going to put some on the handle again, but not on the fork part, and that's just going to tuck under. Okay, so it's hanging over the pot, but it's tucking underneath. I'm just going to press that so that it stays in place. Okay, and that's my first one done. So I'm going to lay that on. and bring the next one over. So this time I'm going to do the rainbow. Now I know that this square just stays the same as it is, so I'm just going to glue that in place like this. You can take as much time as you want with this. If you just think of your squares as little pieces of artwork, like card fronts, and just, oh, there's some glue on there. Just keep it in perspective. Okay, I've got 4 hoops, and I know that the biggest one will touch this side and this side. So I'm going to put that one on first. Now I've put adhesive sheets on the back of these, so you don't have to worry about glue. You can just peel it off and press it on. Now I'm using my grid paper as a bit of a thing of where, so that I can level it up. And I'm making sure that that end touches and that end touches, and then I'm just curving it round. Okay, like so. And then that means that everything else should line up. So I'm going to do the same with the next one. Oh, there's 3 pieces on this, look. Just peels off, just make sure you've got it all off before you try and stick it down. And this time I'm going to make sure it's lined up at the bottom. So that is going to go there, that is going to go there, and again I'll just rub that round. There's a little bit of black on that as well. Somewhere I've got sticky fingers. Okay, now this one is the next one, so that's going to go across. Lovely colours. And again I'm going to line it up first. Like so. And the last one is blue on mine. You may have a different colour combination. That's there. And then I've got a tiny little dot of glue I want to put there. And my heart is going to go on there. Okay. Just like so. Oh, sliding about a bit. There you go. Now I've got a little final touch that I want to do for that. I think it's a bit plain otherwise, so I'm just going to doodle a bit. So I'm going to do some little crosses or stars, because it's magic having a rainbow. And I'm going to do 3 or 5. So I've done 4, 5, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots as well. So that is my rainbow square done. The next one is this one, and what I'd like to do is stamp on there first in case it doesn't come out how I want it to. So I'm going to open up my ink pad, and I've got an old stamp that I love that says life is a beautiful thing, and luckily it's see-through so I can see where I'm stamping. I knew that wasn't going to come out. You know when you just think, oh, that's not going to come out very well. So I'm going to turn it over because it's two-sided. The beauty of card. Let's line that up again. About there. That's better. Okay. So with this one, this time, I'm going to stick this on first. So that is going to go just in the middle like I did just now. Just like that. Okay, just in the centre. And then we're going to put this frame around the edge. So I've got some dimensionals that I'm just putting in each corner because it hasn't got any weight to hold. You don't want to see the dimensionals, so you don't need to put hundreds on there. You can be quite thrifty. Oh, so I'm just putting one in each corner because that's the widest bit. Just checking you can't see them. Okay, and then I'm just lining that up with the square, like so. Easy as that. Ta-da! Right, the house one. Let's have a look at this one. So we've got the house one and also the one that's got the watering can on. They have a bit of green on the background, so we're going to do that at the same time. So I've got my Stampin' blending brush, and then usually I would put this on a block. Shall we do that? We could do that, couldn't we? So then you have more say over, or more control over where your ink is. So I've picked it up. I've got some glue. There's actually a hair on there. Cat hair. Just going to spread that around, and I'm just going to have a little practice here. So can you see? If you start off gently and just go round in a circle, you can see all the ink collects mainly in the middle, but you can spread it out. So let's have a go with doing that. And if you start off, the trick is starting off light and in a circle movement. So start off light. Now this one could be my house one because my house will cover up most of this block. So I'm just going to go round and I'm going to bring my house into it so I can have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, it's got a flower behind him. So yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so that's my house one. Now my other one is going to have something along the bottom. So I'm just going to turn it sideways and come in from the bottom and just spread up. And also it's taller on one side, so I'm just sort of making it diagonal. Okay, so if I bring in the piece that I'm going to use along the bottom, can you see it does some shading? So that is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to put some glue along the bottom of that. Not too much because I want my flowers to float free. So that is going to go along the bottom there. Oh, I'm loving how this is coming together already. Okay, so give that a moment to glue, and I'm going to turn it over and snip off the bit I don't want, and I'm just going to do that side as well because there's a tiny fraction of a bit. So you're left with that. Now I've got some flowers here to put on it. Okay, oh. So we're going to have some of the bigger ones. We're just going to shape them. You could shape it with the end of a pencil or an embossing tool. I'm just shaping them with my hands because they're really tiny. Put a little bit. You can notice that the flowers are not stuck, and that is so they sort of lean forward a bit with the weight of the flower. So I'm just going to get my scissors and just press that in the middle. Just use what you've got around you. So I'm not doing anything, I'm just pressing it, shaping them round. The same with this one. So again, you'll notice that we're using 5 different things. So we've got 2 pink and 3 blue. So that's just going to go on there, like so. And then I've got some blue ones. So these are even diddier. So you might want to use some tweezers to pick these up. It's just going on there. And then I've got 2 more places. That's worked out really well, isn't it? So 1 there and 1 there. And that's going to go like that. And then there is 1 more that's going to go like that. Now if you noticed me saying that the watering can is going to go on here, but I want it to overlap with the squares, so I'm not going to stick it on just yet. So that's my square done. I'm just going to stick it onto the green piece there, like so. And again, I'm just looking to make sure that it's central, or as central as I can get it. Remember, this is handmade, so it's not meant to be perfect. It's the time and attention that you give to it that makes it so beautiful. Okay, this one, the house. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the house, because you don't want to see the back. Probably 3, I think. 3 on the house, just to make sure it's in a good place. All over. And just about there. Okay, and then I said about the little heart. Oh, where's that little heart? Where is that? Should we come back to that? Okay. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so we're going to leave that as it is, because that's the thing. And we're going to concentrate on the next one. So what have we got left? Oh, we've got this one. Oh, there it is, look. As soon as you move something, or you concentrate on something else, it then comes back. I'm going to put a bit of glue on here, because this is really tiny now. Really tiny bit of glue. And that heart is just going to go exactly over there, like so. Can you see that? Okay. This bit, should we do this bit? So this one is going to be stuck down. I actually think I'm going to do this one in that pattern. Remember, your paper will be 2-sided, so you have a couple of different choices on what you want to do. And I'm going to have, because this has got a nice sentiment on it, I'm going to help it pop off the page by having this background colour. So the sentiment that I'm using this time is this one. And again, this is one that I've had for ages. So you can use that one or find your own. And even though it's upside down, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it says live every moment, laugh every day, love with all your heart. And then here's a little trick with this. So literally I'm going to cut straight across. So this is being punched out in exactly the same way. And so I'm going, all I've done is cut that in half. Show you it like so. Now I'm going to put some glue on one half just here, and then I'm going to line it up, or as near as, so it's got a little bit of a frame round, and then when I'm happy I'm just going to press it down, and it moved because it's got wiggle room. So I'm going to do it again until I'm okay with it. I actually think that's okay. And then I'm going to put some glue on this bit. Okay. And I'm going to bring this bit to it for this side. Like so. Now, you won't notice that the green edging doesn't go all the way round. You just won't. Look, do you notice? No. And that is how to get more use out of your bunches. So we're going to raise that up on some dimensionals again. So 3, I think, 1 on each corner diagonally, and then 1 in the middle. And that is just going to go on there. 1 done. Now what's left? Oh, this one. So what do I need? I think this time I'm going to have this background, because the heart is going to go on like that. Mine's got a bit chewed. You won't notice that in a minute. And that's going to go on like so. So if I had that colour on the background, it would just get a bit lost. So I'm using the white background for this one. But you can use whatever you like. Take something from your stash, or use something you've already got in your kit. You should have a couple of choices. And then this one, I could put vellum on it, but I've decided that I want the heart to stand out more. So I'm using this paper like so. And again, I'm going to raise the heart up on the dimensionals. But I'm only going to put 2, I think. 2. It's got no weight, so it should stay there forever. And that just goes like so. So I think we're down to the last one now, which is this rectangle here. Now, what I do like to do is make the brick look slightly aged. So not too grey, but ever so slightly. So I'm going to use a sponge dauber. I'm just tapping it in there, making sure it's not too dark. And I'm just coming in from the side. Can you see the difference? And then I'm going to go along this side and do the same. So you can use whatever is left on your thing just to rub across, because it won't colour your white, but it will pick up some of the edges of the brick, and it just gives it a bit more definition. Okay, so I'm just going to go along this side, and then the last bit is just along the top. Okay, I just have a little rub the other way, just to pick up some of the grain on the bricks. Okay, that's done. So this is going to be glued exactly on this, like we did before. Obviously, if you use the other side, you'll have a different type of impression, because one is indented and one is standing out. Both look really nice. Okay, so that's our brick wall, and we're going to do our home across it now. So we've got both sets of letters. Move that out of the way. So I take my H that's green, and it's got nothing on the back. We're just going to add some dimensionals on that. But on my H that is white, I've turned it into a sticker again by using the Stampin' Up adhesive sheets. So I'm just peeling that off, and I'm just ever so slightly overlapping, so it gives like a 3D effect without you having to try. So like that. Okay, so that's my H. Do the same with the O, like that. So there's my O. Peel off the backing from the O. And put that on ever so slightly. Just make sure that all your letters are going the same way. What I mean is that I've overlapped, so there's an edge on this side, because otherwise if you put it that way round, it just looks a bit wrong. It's like the light has got it from one side if you do it on this. Whatever you decide to do, whether you're left or right-handed, make sure they all go the same way. Okay. M. Look, I can spell. Okay, so this is the M. Slightly more tricky because it wants to stick to my finger, but I think we're about right. Okay, and then the last letter is E. And then we get to put it all together. Excited. We get a ta-da moment. Okay, so that goes in there. Don't just love a ta-da moment. Ta-da! Okay, so let's see where we are with this. So home, H-O-M-E. Now it's entirely up to you how much you space them out. I'm going to raise mine on dimensionals again. Let's have a look, see if the big ones will fit on, or I can use some of this edging strip because that's quite long, isn't it? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a piece down there. So it's about using up all the supplies you've got. So I'm just going along and using the edge of my dimensionals because it gives me a long strip, which is perfect for these letters. So I've got that there. Peel the backing off. Turn that over. And I think I'm going to put it about there. Okay. Now the O. Now that again could do with a bit down the side rather than using a whole one. Will it fit? Oh, just about. And there's some more on the other side. I use that bit as well. Peel off the backing. So this is my one that I'm making today. Is going to be a gift for my friend. She's just moved house and I can't think of anything better to give her. Something handmade, something that I've spent some time making, and I've picked the designs specifically for her, with her in mind. So I'm sure she's going to love it. Nothing better than giving someone a smile from something handmade. Okay, now the M, I'm going to put that down the middle, and then there's not a lot of room over on that side. So I'm going to put one down the bottom there and one at the top there, just because I don't want it to be dipped on one side. Now I'm not sure, is that actually showing? Oh, that was lucky. I thought my dimensional was sticking out too far, but it's fine. It is something on my letter M though. That's going to go there. Okay, just make sure. And then I've just got E to do. So is there any of that left for the E? There's a little bit down the side there. That's going to go there. And then let's have a think. If I put one on there, one on there, that sticks out a bit. See if I can move it in a little bit. And one on that bit there. I think we are nearly there. Just peel the back ends off. There we go. Okay, so that's my other bit. Right, there's just one thing I forgot to do. I didn't layer this. So let's put this on here. Okay. Oh, that's a bit wonky. Is it? There you go. That's my home. So let's move all of this out the way and bring it back in. And let's see what we're left with. So let's make sure you can see it all first. Bring you up a bit. Okay. So what we do now is lay it out how we want it to be. So I want it to be like this, like so. And my watering can is going to overlap there. Perfect. Now, before you stick it down, have a little bit of a play. I actually might put that one there and that one there, or do I put that one there and that one there, because then you've got the pinks in the corner. We've got pinks and blues there. We've got the flower, the two decorated ones opposite, or you could move that one over and have it there. Oh, that looks quite nice actually. I think that's what I do. So just have a little move around. You can move this one up because it will still fit in nice. Just have a look which way round you want yours, how you want it before you stick it down. Okay, then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the middle bit out of my frame, and I'm just going to lay that on the edge of the paper, not to do anything other than show me how much room it's going to take up, and then I can space these out a bit to make sure there's enough of a gap between them. Okay, this is the worst bit. You'll spend ages. You can get a ruler and measure them and make sure they're exactly equal. I tend not to do that, just because I'd be here all day, to be honest. I think that's about right, maybe over a fraction. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. So I'm going to stick my middle one down first, so that I can line up everything from that. So I'm just going to put it on dimensionals because it's 3D. I want it to stand out. I want it to catch the light when it's on the wall. I want my friend to be noticing it all the time because it's made with love. So I've got 5 on there. Just get those bits off. And I'm just going to lean over it to try and make sure before I stick it that it's in exactly the place that I want it to be. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one next, and then everything else I'm going to put 3 on this one there, 1 there. Okay. So does that feel right? Luckily with dimensionals you've got a little bit of time. As long as you don't press too hard, you can move it around a bit. About there, I think. Okay, now I'm going to do the 2 opposite ones. I'm going to do this one first. 1, 2, 3. If you think of it like a triangle. Okay. And this one is going to go here. And then this one is next. So I am going to put it 1, 2, 3. So I've used a mix of Stampin'Up dies and some Sizzix dies that I had that just seemed to go perfectly with this. Just going to make sure that that's lined up. And then I'm going to do this one. And then we're nearly there. Okay. Loving how this is coming out. About there, I think. Okay. So that one's done. Let's do this one. Which square is your favourite? I do really like the sunflower, but then I don't know, I like the rainbow. I think the rainbow's nice. Who doesn't love a rainbow? Okay, that is going to go there. And then I've got these two, so I'm going to do the bottom one first. You're going to get through a lot of dimensionals. So I hope you have enjoyed this craft along. I have got loads of kits coming your way. I love making home decor with my Stampin' Up goodies. And I love gifting handmade as well. So if I can make something that somebody's going to love, I will do that. Is there one more? I've lost my train of thought. There. This one, that's the last one, I think. The suggestion I would make when you're putting these squares is not do what I'm doing and look at it from an angle, but maybe bring it right down close to you and look down directly from above, and you will have a better view of it than what I'm getting. I'm a bit nervous that when I hold this up, it is going to be crooked. But I think we're there, apart from the watering can. Let's put that watering can on somewhere. Oh, I've got a dimensional in there as well. So I'm going to put that right at the top there. And I'm going to use this to just do some water. Okay. I feel like we're there. Okay, let's put it in. So, let's get all these other bits out of my frame. Now my frame is dust free. Probably not. Let's see if we can give it a quick wipe. So how do you put it in? So you've got your frame like so. You put that in like that. Put your beautiful work of art upside like that. Put that piece in there like so. Close all the back pieces down. Take a deep breath. Ta-da! Wow, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Well, I hope you've had a really magical ta-da moment too. Thank you for crafting along with me, and I hope you enjoyed making the kit, and I hope you enjoy gifting it. Lots of love. Happy crafting.